Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Justin.
I'm Tashina.
And we generally spend our mornings laying in bed together. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you, but one of the things I've been wanting to do is to get out of bed earlier. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily waking up earlier, but spending less time in bed after we wake up. Because I feel like at first we used to lay in bed and cuddle and be near each other. And now we just sort of lay there on our respective phones.
Yeah.
And we've been thinking, what can we do to sort of spend more time with our audience?
Yeah.
And we thought, well, we both have, like hot drinks in the morning, and we both talk in the morning. So why not record that conversation and that beverage drinking?
Yeah.
And put it here on the internet for you to enjoy. If you want to relax and hang out with us, then just keep watching. I also want to, before we jump in, I do want to give a quick disclaimer, which is the purpose of this is to be more kind of relaxing and help you forget about what's going on in the world.
We didn't do a super great job with that.
We did a terrible job. We definitely talk about current events.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so with that, should we dive in?
Yeah, let's go.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
I'm using my fluffy went to bed with wet hair to dampen the negative impacts of these free headphones.
Probably a good idea. These headphones are pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know.
They're like, mine are on the smallest setting, but they're still too big. So they pull, they don't line up well with my ears, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's how it is for me too. I think they just weren't made
for people.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it's always nice to start out a conversation with complaining about things. But these do hurt our ears. But again, they were free.
Yeah, they were free.
If we didn't have them, I don't know what we'd be doing.
Yeah.
So, how's your morning so far?
It's pretty good so far. I mean, I've been reading the news, which I don't know if that's a good way to start the morning, but it helps me feel more informed.
Yeah. With everything that's going on right now, I've been paying attention to the news massive times more than I normally would.
Yeah, same. And then I talked to my mom for a little bit just to check in on her and check in on my grandmother. I need to message my dad. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I need to message my dad and check in with him because he checked in with me yesterday.
Oh. And you just ignored him like you're dead?
No. I just, we were like, yeah, doesn't matter. But yeah, so, yeah, it's weird. There's now 14 confirmed cases in Salt Lake County. There was 5 the other day, 5 on Friday. And there's now 14.
Was there 5 on Friday? I thought there was 2 on Friday.
No, there was 5 confirmed on Friday.
What
and
day
one
is
in
it?
Park
Sunday?
City. Today's Sunday. And as of last night, there were 14 confirmed. But they're saying the one in Park City they think is community transmission because the guy doesn't know anyone who's sick. But all the ones in Salt Lake County, it's like...
Wait, what's community transmission? What does that mean?
Just he got it from somehow interacting with someone who is probably carrying it but doesn't have symptoms.
Oh, okay.
Like he hasn't been in direct contact with a confirmed case. That's my understanding of what that means. I could be wrong, but that's my understanding.
Isn't that worse though? Bless you.
Yeah.
Isn't that worse for all of us?
Yeah, totally. It's definitely worse because the 14 here, they're all connected. Some of them live together. Some of them work together.
Yeah.
So there's very clear connections.
Yeah. I should also mention that Tashina and I, when we talk about this stuff, we're in no way trying to fearmonger or make people go out and panic buy. But I think that there is a level of concern that you need to have to make sure that you're not spreading it.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about either of our health. Mm-mm. We will get through it. We both have strong immune systems. We're both young, but I don't want to be transferring it to somebody who might also be young and have a compromised immune system, or might just be old and have a compromised system because of that.
Yeah.
So this is not about oh no, there's all these confirmed cases. Don't go outside, and we're afraid and buy 80 rolls of toilet paper.
No, not at all.
It's just we don't want to be carriers. Mm-hmm. and we don't want to be spreading it.
Yeah.
And that's why we're kind of fascinated by the news and staying on top of it.
Yeah, totally. I think it's important to know what's going on in your area too, because I think a lot of people there's a lot of anxiousness out there. There's a lot of stress. And like I don't know about you, but I'm feeling that. And I think it's important to be informed, but also, know your boundaries with that. Like, take your mental health seriously. Like, don't overread the news, but be aware of what's going on. Because like Justin was saying, a lot of people, they might be perfectly we'll be fine, but I don't want to be the person who's ignoring the advice of the professionals and going out and about and then carrying it and passing it to people who have a compromised system.
At that point, you're basically an anti-vaxxer saying, I'm going to be fine. My body's going to be strong enough, so I'm not going to get vaccinated because I don't care if I carry these things and get other people sick.
Yeah, and it's not, the thing that's frustrating for me is like, it's not about you, it's about everyone else.
Yeah.
And you don't know anyone else's position. You don't know what their health is like. You don't know what their family member's health is like.
So stop being selfish.
Yeah, like I get that.
Go wash your hands.
Yeah, go wash your hands. But also like minimize your contact with other people because you know your situation, you know your family's situation, but you don't know theirs or their families. And so as much as we can minimize the risk to others, anything that you are able to do, you should do. And again, not just people with compromised immune systems, but like the people who are working customer service and are working right now. Sorry, I'm going on like a little rant.
No, that's it.
Like,
I mean, we should move on, but that is a good point that if you're carrying it and you're going out and doing all this stuff and you have the luxury of working from home, consider that the people that you are basically forcing to serve you probably don't have the luxury of working from home because they're not working from home and they're probably living on very low salaries. And maybe that's not a huge concern to you, but maybe you should also just not be an asshole and don't. I mean, there's a fine line, I think, though, too, between supporting local businesses right now.
Yeah.
And not contaminating local businesses. So this is not, again, we're not here to be judgmental or doomsday sayers. We're just saying, just think about it.
Yeah, totally. Wash your hands. Think about it.
Wash your little hands and think about it.
Yeah.
Spend 30 seconds thinking about this and washing your hands. It can be your little hand washing meditation in the morning.
Yep.
So anyway, what about these 15 cases?
Oh, just that they're direct connections to each other. And so, it's just interesting that there were so many more confirmed.
Yeah.
2 of them are children, which is interesting. And they had gone to their schools while showing symptoms. So that's kind of...
So were they tested positive from the schools out here that had made the announcement and shut down in...
They were in a different school district out here than the one that shut down because there was a teacher. Anyway, it's interesting.
Well, kids can carry it though, right? Like concern isn't.
Yeah, I think the main thing with kids is them carrying it and people thinking their kids are fine. And the main thing I'm seeing in the media out here is they're like, stop treating this like it's a snow day. Like that doesn't mean go get together with all your friends and all your kids' friends and hang out because your kids could have it and you have no idea. And then you're... it's like what we were just saying. You don't know other family situations.
Yeah.
Hi, Juniper. Anyway.
What else have you read on the internet this morning?
That's basically it. I was just reading the local one.
Okay.
Jody. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't... Oh, go ahead.
Nothing. You said cool. So it's like, I don't know.
I didn't really read anything this morning because... I pretty much woke up and rolled over and said, okay, let's film this thing.
Yeah, you did. I've been up for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sleepy.
Me too.
So we started watching that show, Hunters, last night.
It was really gory.
Yeah, really intense. We were kind of talking about why we think they made it so violent. Mm-hmm. And part of it is really to be historically accurate about the atrocities that were committed against the Jewish people in concentration camps.
Yeah.
And so in that regard. I feel like if I'm going to watch that show, then I guess there's a level of importance that it is there.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want it to be light and fluffy.
Right. Yeah, there's no, like, I feel like there's no amount of goriness and brutality and just like disgusting human behavior that could be kind of like reenacted on a show or in a movie that really does justice to the horrible, disgusting things that Nazis perpetrated during those years.
Yeah.
So that's all just to say that, yes, the show is super brutal, and it definitely, like, I woke up multiple times during the night, like, thinking about how terrible it was. Mm-hmm. But I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, I think that's part of their message.
Yeah.
Now with the resurgence of white nationalists. This is off to a very heavy start.
Yeah. Seriously. So far we've talked about viruses killing immunocompromised people and Nazis.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at how we're like, we should record something that's like more lighthearted, and then that's what we
that's true.
start with.
Yeah, the whole premise of this was like, oh, something people can watch and relax in the morning, like be distracted from the worries and the woes.
Yep.
But I also, go ahead.
Nope.
Well, I mean, this is the things that are on our minds right now.
Yeah, and I think too, I do think it's important to acknowledge and talk about what's going on. I saw a thread on Twitter this morning where someone was like, and I had posted on Twitter the other day, I've seen a few content creators be like, if you're a content creator, you shouldn't be talking about what's going on. Act as if everything's fine because that's what your audience wants. And then I saw a thread on Twitter today of someone who was like, it's weird to me that content creators aren't talking about what's going on because it's impacting so many people. And there were multiple content creators that replied, and they're like, but if I talk about it, my video will get demonetized. And I was like, I get it, but also...
You selfish asshole.
It's, like, we need to be normal. Like, we need to be talking about it. It's not that they're selfish, and we're not saying that. But, like, I do think it's important to at least address once.
I'm on the fence on this whole thing.
Okay.
But go on. Well,
I think it's important to be like, hey, we're all going through this. We're all feeling anxious. We're all feeling weird. And I think more of what the person wanted was just like an acknowledgement of what's going on versus like acting like nothing's going on, which I think is good to do.
Yeah, I don't know personally.
Really?
Yeah, because like there are plenty of YouTubers that I watch that I don't necessarily care if they acknowledge it. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to get out of them acknowledging that it's happening. Like, of course they know it's happening. I also think that there's a big difference between not acknowledging something and being insensitive to it.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that's the real issue. And I also think that people are getting really judgmental about things. Mm-hmm. And that's, to me, a more indicative of like a social problem. Like, we've seen all these people getting so upset about this guy that bought all this hand sanitizer to sell on Amazon, and then price gouging, and just like selling bottles. I think the article I read said between $7 and $80.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, and now Amazon and eBay shut down his accounts, and he has something like 17,000 bottles of hand sanitizer that he now doesn't know how to sell because Amazon and eBay shut down his accounts for price gouging. And what?
I was going to say, couldn't he just start a new account and not price gouge? Like, just sell it at the normal rate?
Oh, that's a good point.
Or sell it to his local economy, like, or return it to the stores where, like...
Well, returning it to the stores, I don't know if that's an option because it sounds like he went... Like, the article said he traveled 1,300 miles.
Oh.
So I think for him, it's probably like he's put in so much gas money and time to get it all.
Yeah.
That now he's...
Or
Like,
you could donate it. Like,
well,
anyway, I'm just saying.
I don't think this guy's problem is that he's not sure how to give it away, right? Like, obviously he could donate it. The issue is, like I was saying, he's now invested so much time and money into this thing, and it sounds like he was buying them at retail price.
Yeah.
So he has probably no margin. So anyway, my whole point is just that, like, is that a shitty thing to do? Yes. Mm-hmm. Like, but the issue I have with it is that it's weird to me that people are getting so upset about this guy, but they don't seem to care that pharmaceutical companies, this is how they operate.
Yeah.
Like it's weird to me that we would look at this one person who's actually, who probably doesn't have a lot of disposable income. I don't know his financial situation, but we look at that and we're all upset and it's trending on Twitter, but like, who's talking about, like how come pharmaceutical companies doing this stuff every day isn't trending on Twitter? Like why is it, I guess my point is, why is it bad when an individual does it, but for some reason we're all okay with it when huge companies who are making millions, maybe billions of dollars in revenue, like, why aren't we upset about that? So my point is not that we shouldn't be upset at this guy, just so we're all clear. I'm not saying what he's doing is cool. I'm just saying I don't really see how what he's doing is different than any other pharmaceutical company. And I just don't get how it's different. I just don't get why people are so upset at this one guy, but we're not up in arms about how completely messed up capitalism is in so many other ways. And I'm not anti-capitalism. I'm just saying it's weird to me how people pick and choose the things to be upset about.
Yeah.
And how this guy is a terrible person, but all these companies are somehow just being good capitalists. Like I don't see the distinction there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's that with the companies, that's a social norm. That's what's expected of them. It's not something that is really expected of people in this current time. I think the big message in this current time is, hey, if you have extra supplies, donate them to others who don't. If you have financial means, help others that don't. And so while what he's
Well, I just want to make the distinction there because he didn't have extra supplies. He has a product to sell.
Yeah.
That's like saying if Costco has pallets and pallets and pallets of hand sanitizer, they have so much that they should just donate it all.
Yeah, I know.
He's a business.
He's made it a business. What I'm saying
So
is
has
the
Costco.
expectation is different, though.
But
like, people expect it from Costco.
I know I understand. What I'm saying is I think it's stupid that the expectation is different. Okay. I don't understand why an individual is held to a different standard than a company.
I think because people don't expect companies to have morals and values, but they expect people to. That's all.
I know. I get that part of the equation.
I'm not saying that you don't. I'm expressing my thoughts on it too.
Right, and I'm not blind to the fact that people do that. This is what I'm trying to say is I understand that. It doesn't make sense why that is.
Okay.
It's like saying, "Oh, I don't understand why people eat cows and chickens, but they see a problem with eating dogs in this country." And then to say, "Oh, well, they have a problem with eating dogs because most people in this country are raised with dogs as pets, and so it's a different emotional attachment." I understand that. That's not the part I'm confused about. The part I'm confused about is how people don't see that it's the same thing. Okay.
I was not saying that you didn't understand, and I'm not trying to debate. I was just adding my 2 cents. That's all.
Nope, you're not allowed. This is the Justin Mendez Show. What are you drinking?
Coffee.
Oh, no.
I forget which one it is. It's one of the ones that Beanbox sent. Mm-hmm. I like it. It's good. It's a very, very middle of the road blend, if you will.
You're a middle of the road blend. No, you're not. You're the best blend in the whole world.
Thank you. Yep. Anyway.
Do you know what I'm drinking?
You're drinking tea that I accidentally made not strong enough. Oh,
was not going to describe it that way.
Oh, sorry.
No, I
What
don't
are you
care.
drinking? What are you drinking? You describe it.
I was just going to say I was drinking tea with soy milk.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is true.
I wasn't going to use it as an opportunity to criticize your tea making.
Usually when I make tea, it's like good. And I think I thought more time had passed.
Well, yeah. Do you want my honest evaluation of your tea making?
Yes.
Okay. Normally you make it and it's like this incredible, delightful treat. Like it's so exciting. And I usually just drink it in like 5 seconds because it's so good.
Yeah.
I just like chug it. But I think lately you've been maybe experimenting because I said, oh, I think there's too much sweetener, too much maple syrup. Mm-hmm. And I think that was my fault because it's like, what do you do when you tell somebody making ice cream there should be less sugar in this ice cream? Like, you have ice cream that doesn't taste the same.
Also, too, because before I would do one black tea bag and one of the like orange spice ones that is decaf, and we don't have those anymore. So technically, it was 2 tea bags.
So you're only doing one now?
So I'm only doing one because when I did 2 with black tea, you said it was too much caffeine for you.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense.
So maybe we should find some decaf tea because I would say for me in a mug that size, I would use 2 tea bags.
Yeah.
For flavor.
I would too. It's pretty rare that I make tea in any size vessel and don't put tea bags.
Yeah, same. Same.
Are you sad because I was getting so worked up?
I'm not sad, no. But
I also feel like because I already project and talk so loud, it seems like I'm getting more worked up than I am.
yeah,
So sorry if it came across that way.
it did.
I wasn't trying to shut you down.
Okay, because that's how it felt.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, finally it stopped. The refrigerator.
Oh.
It's been humming and buzzing this whole time.
But yeah, what I was going to say too, though, is I think it's a weird time. People are feeling a lot of things and that's coming out in weird ways.
Totally.
For a lot of people. So I think it's a lot of misdirected feelings and people are feeling very uncertain, stressed out, anxious. And it's just coming out in different ways. So whether that's on Twitter at content creators or at this guy selling hand sanitizer, or as we saw at some random person at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like you just don't, it's a weird time. And so it's really important to be, I think, like extra compassionate.
Yeah.
And extra understanding and like just extra patient with people.
True.
And give everyone space, not just for health reasons, but for mental health reasons too.
Give me some space, would you?
We are definitely not 6 feet apart, but that's okay. We live together.
Yeah,
we don't have to be.
We're in quarantine together, really, if we're going into quarantine. It's not like I saw this thing that was like, oh, if you're the only person in your family who has it, then like you need to have like a room that's your designated area.
Yeah.
And like, while I can appreciate that, first of all, I don't think people are going to do that. But second of all, there's no way for us to do that.
Yeah, I think if people have a house, it's a lot easier. If you're in a small apartment like we are, it's basically impossible.
Or a lot more family members.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there are a lot of, like the dad might have it, but and his husband might have it, but like their kids might not have it yet.
Yeah.
But like, if I have it, you have it.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that's why it's good we're doing like a self-imposed, I don't want to say quarantine, but...
We're not doing a quarantine.
No.
We've left the house every single day and gone into social situations.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think it's good that we're minimizing it. And I think this... By social situations, too, I just want to clarify, Justin means like going to the grocery store.
Or and we've also had friends over.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Friends. We had friends over the other day. Yeah. But we're not going to be doing that going forward.
We aren't?
No, I'm not.
Oh. I have work to do. I still have B-roll I need to go out and shoot. I got to go to the gun range and get video of people shooting guns.
Okay.
If you don't want me to do that, I need to know so that I can tell the people that I'm working with that I'm not going to have any footage for them for a while.
Let's talk about that later.
I thought this was the whole point of the show, was to have our normal morning and talk about these things.
I don't know that it's... I mean, okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
You could go, and it's totally empty, My thing is that the person you are going to go with is exposed to a lot of people throughout the day, and I'm not really comfortable with that.
Okay.
Like, I'm feeling like right now, with how things are, the best situation for us is to really just stay home and not even go to the grocery store right now. Like, just stay in, go outside, go for walks in the sun, like, get out, because there isn't like an imposed quarantine here.
Yeah.
But as far as like interacting with people, I don't think it's a good idea right now because we are privileged enough to work from home to interact with people who are interacting with lots of people every day.
I hear what you're saying. And I'm not saying we shouldn't do that. I guess we just hadn't talked about it before. And my thought is it's going to get way worse before it gets better. Mm-hmm. Like, and what is she doing?
She's trying to look under the rug.
I mean, she's doing a pretty impressive job of lifting it.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know why she needs to look underneath the throw rug, but...
Well, these are important things to do. I'm also wondering if oh, geez, Louise. Anyway, as I was saying, I think that if we don't go to the store for 2 weeks and it only gets worse for 2 weeks, then it's going to be 2 weeks worse than it is now, but we're not going to have any food, and then we're going to have to go out, and that's going to dramatically increase the chances. But I guess your point is going to the grocery store is a necessity, and doing this work is not.
Yes. My point is let's only leave for necessities. That's how I'm feeling right now, just for the sake of other people. Because the fact that, it is definitely going to get worse here in Salt Lake. Like, the people who had it, one of them worked at University of Utah that tested positive and was, on campus.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, I just think it's a time where right now it is a time to, maybe it's seen as being more extremist, but I think it is a time to help really put in action, if you are able to, like we are able to minimize the risk to others.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know if the person you were going to go with, I don't know if they've been isolating themselves.
It's not about, no, they're definitely not. And it's not about that in particular.
Okay.
It's more that I wish I had brought this up to you and asked about your concerns yesterday, because I paid to ship all that gear. And if I'd asked you earlier, then we could have had this conversation, and I could have said to the person, hey, do you want me to send everything back? Because I held on to gear.
Oh, see, I thought you sent everything back, so I thought you were done shooting.
No.
Oh, I didn't.
No.
I didn't know. Okay.
It's fine. It's not your fault. I should have brought it up to you. I just didn't see it as being an issue. But that's on me.
Yeah, let's talk about it more.
It sounds like you're pretty clear on where you stand. I don't know that there's much more to talk about.
Maybe...
I'm not trying to convince you otherwise.
Okay.
It kind of...
Maybe, too, see if those places you were thinking about shooting B-roll are even open.
But this isn't contingent on whether it's open. It's contingent on your feelings about what we're doing.
Yeah.
It has nothing, there's no relevance to whether they're open. How does that change your feelings?
Yeah. I think, too, it's I'm really conflicted because I feel like we are privileged enough to be able to work from home and to not be out and about. And I feel like everyone who is in that position should do that and really, really limit things to the necessities. So I don't know if this means, if what you were talking about was going...
it's a job, so I do see it as pretty
Yeah,
necessary.
it's a job. Yeah.
I see us making money is a pretty crucial step.
Yeah, totally. Totally. I thought that you were done shooting. I didn't realize you still had the stuff. I would call the place and get a feel for if they're open and for how busy it is, and then go from there.
I guess I'm confused now because you're talking about the person I'm going with being your concern.
I'm still concerned about that.
So I don't really understand what them being open has to do with anything.
I don't know. I'm just trying to process it because I thought you were done with stuff.
Okay.
That's all.
All right, everyone. What's next?
I don't know. I don't know.
How'd you sleep? Tashina and I switched sides of the bed because we're trying to figure out how to make this bed comfortable.
Yeah. I slept okay. Mm-hmm. I didn't sleep great because we were watching that show right before bed.
Yeah.
And it was a little intense.
It was super intense.
So I slept fine.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
I slept terrible. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah. But you were being so cute last night when you were asleep and I was still awake. I don't know why. You were just like sprawled out and laid out and you have your little pink pillow. Mm-hmm. You're very cute.
I have this little faux silk pillowcase that IGK sent me a long time ago. And that's what he's referring to.
That's from IGK?
Yeah. When they launched.
I thought that was from Too Faced.
No.
Or NCLA.
No, it was from IGK.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because they have a hair mask, I think. They have a product called Prenup. And then when they did the PR package for it, which unfortunately was before they were on the Logical Harmony cruelty-free list, but I admit I kept the pillowcase. They sent this PR package out with the product and then a pillowcase that's faux silk and pink. And there's a little hashtag, "We want Prenup" on it.
It's very cute. Mm-hmm. And they are now on the list, right?
Yes, they're now on the list. They're cruelty-free. Yeah, totally. So that's why people haven't seen it. Like it wasn't in a mail time or anything. This was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love IGK.
It would be funny if we got a prenup because you own everything and I have a ton of debt. And I think that typically socially the thought about a prenup is the man protecting his assets. And I actually think that it fits perfectly in with the IGK thing because it's clearly marketed toward women. And they're like, no, we want the prenup, which I feel like is such an appropriate thing for the years that we're in.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I saw this thing the other day. I don't remember exactly what the tweet was, but somebody said something kind of shitty to Gina Escada about, like, something that was very critical in a, like, you can't keep a man kind of vibe.
I just rolled my eyes for those listening. Sorry.
Yeah. And Gina replied with something amazing that was, I don't remember what it was word for word. Hi, baby.
Applesauce is joining us.
But it was something along the lines of, like, yeah, because I make multiple times more than every guy I've ever dated. And, like, just kind of went off on, like, how it's hard to find a dude who can keep up. And I'm sure that it is. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of dudes that feel intimidated or emasculated by women making more than them, especially if they're making multiple X more than them.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are plenty of not just people you would date, but people in general who just don't understand the lifestyle of working from home and don't get it.
Yeah, working for yourself.
Yeah, I think there's, you know, like we've had a tough time with some certain friends since we moved out here of feeling like there's almost kind of this resentment toward us because we're able to do what we do, and they think that you're just, you know, hanging out, not actually working. And so there's this sort of like weird dynamic, and I could see it being really tough dating in the field of what we, and more specifically you, do. So anyway, the whole prenup thing is kind of, it's funny because in reality, if we got a prenup, it would definitely be way more for you to protect your assets. And in the grander, more macro reality, it's so appropriate for what's going on.
Yeah.
And how things have changed in the world.
Yeah, totally.
Like, Kind of reminds me of that Seinfeld episode.
Which one?
Oh, you don't remember this? It's when
I don't know.
well, it's pretty obvious once you hear it. You'll probably remember it. It's when George is engaged and he's trying to figure out ways to get his fiance to break up with him. And I think Elaine suggests that he should say he wants a prenup, and he tells his fiance, and she just like laughs in his face, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll sign a prenup, dude. Like, are you serious?
I'm the one with all the money."
Yeah.
I think too. Okay, random pop culture reference, but something Jessica Simpson has talked about is how she and Nick Lachey did not sign a prenup, and at the time, he had much more money than her, all these things. But then when they got divorced, she had way more money than him and way more businesses. And she's talked in interviews about how not signing a prenup was just like this naive mistake. And I'm pretty sure she ended up paying him spousal support and like all these things, which not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think that was a really good lesson to women to see like a celebrity talk about it.
Yeah, it's so funny, like, because of the way that the world is set up to pay women less than men and to basically control women, like little girls and women aren't taught the same precautions as men, and then they end up getting screwed, and that sucks.
Yeah. Yep.
Poor Jessica Simpson. Although I have a feeling she's doing all right.
Yeah, I'm sure she's doing fine.
Excuses, like,
but she.
I shouldn't have said that. That was kind of a. I don't like that I said that. I take that back.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, she just, she worked really hard.
Yeah, exactly. Even if she is doing fine, there's no amount of doing fine that can make up for, somebody taking a large portion of your money because you didn't get a prenup.
Yeah, totally. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I've always thought prenups were a good idea. Like, I remember being a little kid and finding out about them and being like, yeah, that seems reasonable.
You were also raised by divorced parents, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I can see how that would give you a unique perspective on prenups.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about.
I think they can all be structured differently, too. But, like, if my parents had a prenup and then they got divorced, my mom would have been totally screwed. Like, if you're thinking of the basic, like, our assets are...
remain our assets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my dad got to keep all, like, this stuff that he had, quote-unquote, worked for. Bless you.
Thank you.
When my mom spent... Bless you again.
I think I have hay fever. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. What's hay fever?
Like a pollen reaction.
Oh. Yeah, it's not from you've been, like, rolling in hay.
Yeah, I've been rolling in hay.
You've been, like, making hay bales.
Yep.
And then throwing them out the back of a truck.
Obviously.
For exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, just that they both put in equal, at least equal amounts of work. I mean, you could argue that my mom put in more hour per hour because she didn't go home at the end of the day. It was like at the end of dealing with me and my brothers being me and my brothers.
Very well behaved children. Sorry.
Yeah, anyway, you get the point.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing I need to work on, which is like I make my point and then I just keep going for like 20 minutes. We get it.
I think a lot of us do that.
A lot of us, like you and I, like you do it.
I think a lot of people do it, not just you and I. Applesauce does it sometimes.
Tell everybody about your mug, Tashina.
My mug?
Yeah.
Justin bought me this mug. It says, "Remember the Alamo." He bought it at the Alamo.
I did buy it at the Alamo, yeah.
And I am a really big Pee Wee Herman fan, odd fact about me. And so if you guys have seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which was actually Tim Burton's first movie. And
wow, Tim Burton facts.
Yeah, which I don't have many of, but I love Pee-wee, so I know that one.
No, we
One of the
don't. Tell
plot
us.
lines is that Pee-wee thought his bike was in the basement of the Alamo
was
because a
told by a
psychic told him
psychic,
that. Yeah. So he goes to the Alamo and he goes on the tour and he's like, so when are we going to go to the basement? And then everyone laughs at him and Pee-wee's horribly embarrassed.
Yeah.
And
There's
essentially,
no basement in
he
the
basically
Alamo.
has like a anxiety attack or a panic attack. Like when you look at the footage now, like he's like, oh my gosh, and he passes out. Anyway, and that all happens at the Alamo. Poor Pee-wee. So
Oh man, I love it.
yeah, when Justin was there, he got me this mug. I really enjoy it. It's handmade
By someone
ceramic
named Megan. It's hand-megged.
by Smoky Mountain Pottery, and their logo is a bear.
Yeah.
And it's held up really well. I've had it for a few years.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's a great mug. I was
It is.
excited when I found it because, as you can tell from the stamp, and like you said, it's handmade. So every mug in there was different. And so it was exciting to know I could get you this and there would literally never be another one exactly like it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. And it's such a good reference that most people would be like, oh, it's an Alamo mug, but there's so much more to it.
Yeah. I love it when like friends or family have come over or like someone's seen it in a video and they've like, remember the Alamo?
Like, what?
Yeah. Like my cousin Ed made a Pee-wee joke when he saw it. We were like, that's exactly it.
I love
That's
that.
exactly why we have it.
I feel like your cousin Ed makes all these weird references. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I forget how much Ed and I have in common about weird pop culture things that
Yeah.
we like.
Yeah.
And then he'll make weird jokes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you totally understood what I was referencing.
Yeah.
And but like 15 other people who commented on this did not. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ed's great.
Yeah, it is.
I'm drinking out of my Justin Mendez classic unicorn mug.
Where did you get that mug?
I'll tell you, Tashina. But first, I want to note that this particular unicorn has a goatee.
Yep.
I lived
Yep, it does.
I lived in a house in Berkeley, and I refer to it as like a punk house, although I do feel like that implies it was way more punk than it was. It was definitely like
It was pretty quiet.
2010s punk. Yeah, it wasn't like...
There weren't like 20 people living there. I'm not trying to discredit you.
No, that's fine. It's accurate, and it was. I think it was like more punk in ideology, and like I think also because it wasn't a bunch of like rowdy ass punk dudes. It was like a handful of punk women. That I think the vibe is very different. At least it was in my experience.
Yeah.
And I think all of them were straight edge. So anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that we lived there, and by the time I lived there, no one was on the lease because they had basically just passed down the house from one people to the other, and the landlord like just didn't care somehow, like didn't think it was important to have anybody on a lease.
Yeah.
Which ended up working out in my favor. But when we moved out, we were like 3 or 4 generations of kids that had lived there, so nobody knew who any of the stuff belonged to.
Yeah, I remember it was so weird asking you about stuff in the kitchen.
Yeah,
And you'd be like,
there's so
I don't
much
know where
random
that came
stuff.
from.
Yeah. So we all took whatever we wanted when we moved out because we had no idea how to even get a hold of, And I know, too, one of the people who lived there tried, like, she reached out to some of the people who she had lived with before we moved in, and, like, everyone was like, yeah, I have no clue where that person is.
Yeah.
Anyway, I left with like 2 violins and that weird bottle opener that's shaped like a fish.
Oh, yeah. We still have.
Yeah. And this mug.
Yeah. It is a cute mug. I remember there was a pot there I wanted, but there was like ancient leftovers in it that no one would claim, and I didn't want to clean out because they were moldy. But it was like a Pyrex pot with strawberries on it. Like it was so cute and very like 60s, 70s vintage. But I was like, I opened it and I was like, there's like 4 solid inches of mold in here. I can't do this. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
yeah. I think someone left it outside. I think that's what it was. Anyway. That's totally what it was. I remember your roommate was cooking in it and burned whatever they were cooking, and they just set it out on the porch and left it out there for like several months.
That's something we all would have done. Everyone who lived there. Could have been me.
It wasn't you. I remember when it happened.
Oh.
I was there when it happened.
I see.
Yeah. And then when we left, I was like, oh, maybe whatever's in there is fine. And so I opened it up and I was like, oh my gosh, no. Gag reflex.
Should we talk about what we're going to get done today, what we want to do today?
Sure. Would you like to go first, Mr. Mendez? Mr. Justin?
Sure. Let me also preface for people watching / listening.
I didn't even realize she was there.
Applesauce. Oh, she's such a sweet little baby.
Is she in the shot? Probably not, huh?
I don't know. Sorry that we're both sniffling a lot.
Yeah. I think...
As Tashina sniffles super loud right into the microphone.
I think, I'm bothered by dust or pollen right now. It was really windy yesterday.
You always sniffle in the mornings.
I do.
I'm just letting you know, in case you don't know. That's a lot of times how I get woken up, is because you wake up earlier and you're on your phone, and I just get woken up by you going... Yeah, like that. It was a perfect impression of yourself.
All right. I think our bedroom's dusty then.
Oh, our bedroom's dusty. Our whole place is dusty. Applesauce wants your attention. Why are you ignoring her, you monster? She's so cute.
Mm-hmm. She's like, I need to be super close to you, but I won't sit on your chair with you. So I'll sit on this chair behind you.
I think that she's very particular about the angle of your legs on a chair.
Yes.
And I think these chairs are a little bit higher than she likes because it creates a downward angle toward the knees.
Yeah.
And she doesn't feel secure enough.
Hey, don't do that.
Applesauce, listen to your mother and don't bite her.
She didn't bite me. She scratched the chair.
Oh, she went for your hand. Maybe you were turning around already.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway,
hey.
Today.
Okay.
Are you wanting to film a morning skincare video?
Yeah, I was thinking that we would.
Okay.
I would film a morning skincare video, and then I would get ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we should decide what we're doing after that. Like, I didn't know if we were going to film. We had talked about filming a, quick addressing what's going on and how I'm just going to be putting out regular content.
Right.
But I do want to acknowledge things and, the reason we're doing that is to create a space for people.
You wanted to film that today?
I was thinking that it'd be a good idea to film it today, but we could film it tomorrow too.
No, it's fine.
I don't know what you had to do today because I also, too, I have blog content I need to write.
I mean, I think that'll be a pretty quick video.
Okay.
I'll want to think about where I want to film it.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything from the office was deconstructed to be able to film stuff when I went and shot the other day.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
I'm going to sneeze now.
Applesauce was very concerned when you sneezed.
I'm okay, baby. What do you want to work on? Normally, Tashina and I film every single week, but we took time off because Tashina said she needed a break.
Yeah, I did.
Where were we? Talking about what we're going to do today.
Yeah, you were saying how we had been taking a break from filming because I needed a break.
Right.
And how everything for the setup is broken down.
Correctamundo.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, let's just think about where we want to film it.
Okay.
I might even have you film it in the bathroom when you're done getting ready.
Okay.
Well, where are you planning on doing your makeup?
At the filming table.
Oh, so I need to set up the light and everything anyway.
I mean, I forgot the light's not set up.
Yeah.
I can set a mirror in the windowsill in there. And do it there at my computer desk.
Let's just call that filming location TBD.
Yeah.
But we will film it today.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
and
what else do you
then
wanna do?
I want to write a couple blog posts and get some more stuff scheduled out.
Mm-hmm.
Reply to Instagram comments, reply to YouTube comments. Probably just do some cleaning around the house.
Yeah, the house has gotten...
It's pretty messy.
Messy.
Yeah. And I think that's part of why I have my indoor allergies right now, too.
Oh, no.
So open the windows, get some fresh air in here. I'd like to go for a walk. It's supposed to be 60 today.
Okay.
So I think we should get out, get some sun.
Should we do that before we do the skincare video and everything?
Yeah, we could.
Like right after this?
Yeah, it might be nice. Go for a morning walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you have today?
I need to go through the footage that I have shot so far.
Okay.
And for the doc project,
Yeah.
because I think I had kind of misunderstood some of what they wanted, and
Okay.
a lot of it might require a reshoot.
Okay.
So I think that needs to be my first priority.
Okay.
Well, go for a walk, exercise.
Yeah. Eat some breakfast.
That wasn't really high on my list.
Oh, it's high on my list.
Yeah.
Always.
That's one of the things you and I are different about. You like breakfast.
I love breakfast. I have to
I'm
have
fine with
breakfast.
I don't.
I get hangry very quickly.
Tea is even like a stretch for me.
That's so crazy.
Putting anything in my body.
That's how my mom and brother are. Like, they would always just have coffee or tea, and I'm like, I always needed breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Interesting.
Anyway, sorry. I diverted you.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I guess I foresee that taking several hours.
Okay.
So, because part of what I want to do, I've shot so much
Yeah, you have.
that what I'd like to do is be able to send them all the footage that I shot, but then also have everything that I like broken down into a Premiere project, so that I can say these are the shots that I think were the best of what I shot
Yeah.
for each category that they wanted.
Yeah.
So
Okay. That'll probably take most of the day, huh?
yeah, I think it definitely will.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay, cool, great,
Cool, cool, cool.
grand,
Cool, cool, cool.
cool.
Well, on that note, should we wrap things up and go for a walk? Thanks so much for joining us, and I hope you have a good day. And thanks for spending some time with us today.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.